Hey guys, welcome back to Joe's RC Corner, and today we're back on the Cricket. This is the week before the Zenith Homecoming, so I'm going to try to get a little bit of work done here. Not a whole lot, because I was just away on a trip for work, and I want to spend some time with family. So, stay tuned, and I'll show you what we're going to get completed today before the Homecoming. Okay guys, so like I said, we're going to try to get a little bit of work done here before the Homecoming. So if you remember in the last video, I made up my fiberglass fairings. So today, this is a week later, went ahead, popped them off, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty happy. We've got some final fitting and some sanding to do. I'm going to round this corner off here a little bit, but I did make a mistake trying to prop it off, and I used a screwdriver and put a nice little ding here. So might have to use a little bit of filler right there, and when it's sanded, nobody will ever see it, because that'll fit right there over it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to do a little bit more trimming just to get that to fit nicely, and I got to figure out how I'm going to affix it. I do have to do a little bit of sanding to blend this in a little bit more. So I will be putting more tape on this, back on the wing again. We're going to set this back on top of there and just tack it in place. And because I want to do some micro balloons to kind of smooth everything out, give me something to sand. Might be able to just get away with just sanding it down. And then we'll figure out how we're going to attach it. I'm not entirely sure yet on how I'm going to do that. I do want to attach it somewhere towards the back. This might actually not go this far. Might end up rounding it off right about here. And then maybe 2 rivets, one on either side right here to hold it down, because I don't want it to go over the fuel tank cover here, because I want to be able to take that off if need be. So I may just bring it back to there, put 2 rivets, that'll hold it in place. Of course, that won't be permanently affixed until after the wing is painted. But yeah, that's going to work out really nice. It's going to hide that ugly corner. As you can see, that is a mess. But when that's on there, beautiful. No one will know. So we're going to go ahead and pop that one off. May try to have the camera on while I'm popping it off and see how it works. See if you guys can see, get some B-roll on that. We'll see how it works. It was a bit of a pain to try to get it off, and like I said, I'm going to try really hard not to ding up my wing again, because I worked so hard getting that on. So we're going to try to get that off and see if we can get that one trimmed enough to look like that as well. All right, stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so unfortunately that one did not go very well. I must have mismeasured my epoxy, and didn't really harden, it just turned to rubber. Very flexible, not gonna work. So we're gonna have to redo that side, not a big deal. Have more fiberglass, have more resin. This time I'm gonna pay attention a little bit closer to the mixtures so we can make a new one. Because this one was my second try, and as you can see, that came out nice and hard, no problems. Let's retape that one off and mix the epoxy, cut the fiberglass, and get that laid in there again. And this time we're going to pay very close attention to what that mixture ratio is. I think I probably didn't put enough hardener in it, or maybe too much hardener. I don't know. I made a mistake. We're going to fix it. All right. Let's get back to work, and we're going to pull that tape off. We're going to clean off the surfaces there, and then we're going to relay the fiberglass on that and see how that comes out. All right, stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, so this is part 2 on the left side, the pilot or the passenger side, making the fiberglass fairing. So part 2 here. Now I've put on the 2 coats of the PVA, which is the mold release wax. And then the next steps will be to let that kind of dry. We got to let that dry, and then we'll be able to start cutting out the fiberglass and kind of laying it down. So what I'm going to do this time a little bit differently. Of course, mix the the stuff correctly. And then lay some resin down on this first, and then lay the fiberglass on it, and then start adding the resin back onto it again. That way, it should harden up like this one, because we'll do it correctly this time. So this one, we're gonna make this curve a little bit more subtle here, because I don't like that sharp point there, because that'll crack. So we're gonna try to bring this in a little bit more and just kind of wrap that around into that corner there. But we're gonna make that look good. And then we'll do the same thing on this side once that one's cured up. So maybe next week we'll be able to finish cutting that one up, get that preliminary set up, and then we'll go from there. We'll need to tape that off again and do some microballoons and some resin to get that cleaned up nicely, give me something to sand, and then we'll go from there. All right, so once that's cured or dried up, we'll go ahead and start laying down the fiberglass. Okay guys, so welcome back, and we went ahead and we finished up what we were gonna get done today. Tomorrow might come back out and take a look, see what we got left to do, see how this is curing. Hopefully this cures up pretty good. Went ahead and fiberglassed that whole front section, and I also used a little bit of fiberglass microballoons there, and just filled in that corner there, because I know later on I'm gonna have to do it based on how that one came out. So I went ahead and just did that now. That's gonna look really good. I'm hoping that cures up really nicely this time and pops right off like the other one did. Then I can go ahead and get that trimmed and fitted. This side here, we went ahead and we got some micro balloon filler all over it. And tomorrow I'll come out and hopefully this is cured enough. I can go ahead and start sanding this down really good. And then I can get this nice and smooth. Once that's done, then we'll be ready to go. We'll figure out how we're gonna attach it. While I had some of that microballoons and epoxy made up, that dent that I had over here that I caused myself, just used a little bit in there. I'll just sand that down. You won't ever see it once it's filled and sanded. But I did sand it first, so it had some good mechanical bond there, and that should cover up that location there. So hopefully this all cures up overnight, and tomorrow hopefully we'll be able to come out and get a little bit more work done on that, get that sanded and cleaned up, ready to go. Get the other one popped off and see if we can't get that trimmed to the right shape, and go ahead and try to match it up to the other one. We'll get the other one sanded from the micro balloons there, get most of that off down to the back to the fiberglass. Hopefully it just fills in those gaps that I got. So gonna be working on that. Yeah, so other than that, guys, that's all we got for today. I'll see you guys out at the Zenith Fly-In. Bye now.